first question for Gabriela. What inspired you to create a story that pays homage to the generational strength that ultimately gives Dani the courage and power to run towards her life, to quote the film?
I love it. I love it. Again, I mean, even though we live in a patriarchal society, I was born and raised in a matriarchy. My grandmother had 4 daughters, and my mom had 2 daughters. And so I grew up seeing, so a lot of my friends had moms that were stay at home moms. And granted, I think being a mom is already a full time job. So no shade in that. But my mom was always a working mom. And so, and she's a lawyer. So, and she in how she became a lawyer while she was also had like a young girl, like she had my sister. That was like very admirable at the time too. And I've always seen my mom as this like superwoman, you know. So I grew up thinking that women could do anything, which led me to believe when once I moved to the U.S. that I could still do anything, and so with that strength and that sort of conviction, I wanted to talk about that, about how, it's not just how we're seen and we're limited by society. That doesn't mean that we have to limit ourselves, and sometimes we have to break patterns and those sort of limiting beliefs in order to really tap into that strength.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And I feel like for me in this film, the curse is actually a blessing. Um, and I would love to know from both of you, can you please touch upon the fear we have as women to put ourselves in those scary situations that will ultimately save us?
Gabi, do you want to go first?
I think to be a woman is to be in constant fight or flight mode. You have to sort of, you are in that hyper aware. Like, I've never not gone into a room and not be aware what the exits are, who's looking at me. Like, I walk down the street and I have to be like a hawk,
Yeah.
We all do. And so I think, but I think that hyper awareness is both good and bad, because sometimes in the hyper awareness you sort of shrink. And so how can you blossom even as you're sort of looked at, even as you're sort of pigeonholed already? And that's something I'm still like figuring it out as someone who's young and in this industry and walking into spaces where, like, I want to talk about my film and someone's commenting on my outfit,
Yeah.
Right? So I think it's about, I think it's always about coming back to who you are. And that's really hard, but just like grounding yourself. I think whenever I feel off kilter, I just remind myself of, my mom and things that my mom would tell me, or even just like where I'm at, like what can I see, what can I touch, what can I smell, like literally those like panic attack calming exercises.
I've done those. Yeah.
Truly. Just because, like, we absorb so much of this energy and so much of it is so honestly male that sometimes it's important to, even before making a big decision, to just always come back to that quiet place inside ourselves. And I think Dani had it was 14 minutes for her to do that, but I think in the short, she has that. I don't want to spoil anything, but she has those moments of introspection that she literally travels into that moment. You'll have to watch the film to get what I'm saying.
And
but
the
she has
film
to
is
travel.
so gorgeous, Gabriela. It is so stunning, and Shakira, your performance in it is just so beautifully complex, and it broke my heart and then mended it back together. I just want to talk really quickly before I let you go, the power of dance, and how in this film dance is the manifestation of that freedom that comes when we eliminate that fear as women. Oh my gosh, Shakira, just like you are a dancer, you're a beautiful dancer, but can you talk about what movement and dance has meant to you in your life, and how it's kind of shaped you, and how it manifests in this film?
Thank you so much for that. And thank you for loving our film. Really, it just is so amazing how this opportunity to be in Sundance has really allowed people to tap into whatever it is, their grief, you know, they're going through, their experiences. And we just hope that people can internalize their own, and just that it's just a mirror reflection. But for me, dance is a universal language. So regardless of this film, you know, being in English and in Spanish, I just hope that it can translate, you know, without using words. And that's what dance has done for me, is in my deepest, darkest moments, literally going through this pandemic, like you can imagine when I got this project and I read it, you know, that I was just excited to just move my body in a way, and how healing that was for me. And to just tell yourself, you know, that you can do it, and that you're enough, and that your body is enough. Your body is a vessel, and to put your art and mind and body and soul and your physical spirit into something, and then have it be rewarded in this way, where we're sitting in an interview, you know, with CherryPicks. We love CherryPicks, you know. And yeah, we love you guys, and we're just really excited. So what dance did for me in this film is what I hope, you know, this film can do for other people. And just know this generational trauma is something that we can unpack right now. You know, that's what's exciting about this generation, is we're talking about mental health. We're talking about the things that our parents gave us, and what we want to take with us, and what, you know, we want to do better. And I think that that's totally fine. And this is the time that we're in. Like, let's talk about it. Let's have conversations.
Yes, and thank you for creating the gift that is this film to have those conversations. Y'all are so lovely. Enjoy the rest of your virtual Sundance experience, and thank you for your time today.
Thank you so much for having me.
So much for having us.